The Alhambra, with its breathtaking architecture and intricate artistry, stands as a beacon of the cultural and intellectual efflorescence that was Al-Andalus, the medieval Muslim territory in Spain. Yet beyond its physical splendor lies a profound legacy of mystical thought and philosophical innovation. Among the most fascinating figures of this era were the Sufi philosophers of Spain, whose works represented a synthesis of Greek philosophy, Islamic teachings, and the esoteric dimensions of Sufism. These mystics not only contributed to the sciences and spirituality of their time, but also left an indelible mark on later mystical and philosophical traditions across the world. Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam, seeks to transcend the material world and attain direct communion with the divine. Rooted in love, self-purification, and an intimate understanding of God, Sufism flourished in the multicultural milieu of Al-Andalus. This Iberian region, under Muslim rule from the 8th to the 15th century, became a unique melting pot where the Islamic, Christian, and Jewish traditions coexisted and interacted. The intellectual vibrancy of this environment gave rise to some of the most extraordinary minds in the Islamic world, who used their positions as scholars, poets, and philosophers to explore the deepest questions of existence. Among these were Ibn Arabi, Ibn Tufail, and Averroes, Ibn Rushd, whose works encapsulated the spirit of intellectual synthesis. Ibn Arabi, often referred to as the greatest master, al-Sheikh al-Akbar, was born in Murcia in 1165 and spent much of his life traveling across the Islamic world. A pivotal figure in Sufism, his philosophy is characterized by the concept of wahdat al-wujud, or the unity of being. Ibn Arabi posited that all existence is fundamentally one, a manifestation of divine reality. For him, the physical world was not separate from God, but a reflection of his attributes. This perspective offered a spiritual framework that embraced diversity and plurality as expressions of the one. Ibn Arabi's teachings were revolutionary in their ability to harmonize the metaphysical with the practical, providing a roadmap for spiritual seekers to navigate the complexities of the human experience. His monumental works, such as Futuhat al-Makkiyah, the Meccan Revelations, and Fusus al-Hikam, the Bezels of Wisdom, continue to influence Sufi thought and spirituality. Another luminary of this era was Ibn Tufail, a polymath whose contributions spanned philosophy, medicine, and astronomy. Born in Guadix around 1105, Ibn Tufail served as a court physician and advisor, but is most renowned for his philosophical allegory, Hayy ibn Yaqzan, alive, son of awake. This groundbreaking work narrates the story of a boy who grows up alone on a desert island, discovering truths about the natural world and the divine through reason and intuition. Ibn Tufail's tale exemplifies the convergence of Greek philosophy, particularly Aristotelian and Neoplatonic thought, with Islamic teachings. It explores themes of self-discovery, the relationship between reason and revelation, and the innate human capacity for spiritual understanding. Hayy ibn Yaqzan influenced not only Islamic philosophy but also the European Enlightenment, as it was translated into Latin and widely studied. Averroes, or Ibn Rushd, represents another pinnacle of intellectual achievement in Al-Andalus. Born in Cordoba in 1126, he was a jurist, philosopher, and medical scholar whose work sought to reconcile faith and reason. As a commentator on Aristotle, Averroes played a pivotal role in reintroducing Greek philosophy to Europe, laying the groundwork for the scholastic tradition. While Averroes is often remembered for his rationalist approach, his work also contained profound mystical elements. He argued that understanding the natural world and its order was a form of worship, as it allowed humanity to glimpse the divine wisdom inherent in creation. Averroes's integration of philosophical rigor with spiritual depth exemplified the intellectual ethos of Al-Andalus. The Sufi philosophers of Spain were deeply influenced by the intellectual currents of their time. Greek philosophy, transmitted through earlier Islamic thinkers like Al-Farabi and Avicenna, provided a systematic framework for exploring metaphysical questions. However, these mystics did not merely adopt Greek ideas, they transformed them through the lens of Islamic spirituality. Concepts such as the active intellect and the prime mover were reinterpreted in ways that emphasized the personal and experiential dimensions of the divine. The result was a philosophical tradition that was both universal in its scope and deeply rooted in the cultural and spiritual context of Al-Andalus. The scientific contributions of these mystics were equally remarkable. Al-Andalus was a hub of scientific innovation, with advances in fields ranging from astronomy and medicine to mathematics and optics. Scholars like Ibn Tufail and Averroes were part of this intellectual milieu, using their scientific expertise to enhance their philosophical and spiritual inquiries. For instance, Ibn Tufail's understanding of nature in Hayy ibn Yaqzan reflects a sophisticated grasp of biology and cosmology, while Averroes's medical treatises reveal an intricate knowledge of human anatomy and its connection to the soul. The integration of science and spirituality in their works underscored the belief that all knowledge, whether of the physical or metaphysical, ultimately leads to God. The influence of the Sufi philosophers of Spain extended far beyond their own time and place. Their works were transmitted across the Islamic world and into Europe, shaping the course of medieval and Renaissance thought. Ibn Arabi's ideas, for example, resonated with later Sufi traditions in the Ottoman and Mughal empires, inspiring poets like Rumi and philosophers like Mulla Sadra. In Europe, the translations of Ibn Tufail and Averroes into Latin introduced new paradigms of reason and spirituality, influencing figures like Thomas Aquinas and Baruch Spinoza. The legacy of these thinkers underscores the interconnectedness of human knowledge and the enduring power of ideas to transcend cultural and temporal boundaries. The mystics of the Alhambra also left a profound imprint on the arts and culture of Al-Andalus. Their spiritual worldview, with its emphasis on beauty as a reflection of the divine, found expression in the architecture, poetry, and music of the region. The Alhambra itself, with its geometric patterns, arabesques, and flowing water features, embodies the Sufi ideal of unity in diversity. Each element of its design serves as a metaphor for the harmonious interplay of the physical and spiritual realms. Similarly, the poetry of Andalusian Sufis, such as the odes of Ibn al-Farid and the mystical verses of al-Shushtari, celebrated the ineffable beauty of the divine and the transformative power of love. These artistic creations were not mere embellishments, but integral aspects of the spiritual journey, offering glimpses of the eternal through the temporal. Despite their extraordinary contributions, the Sufi philosophers of Spain faced challenges and controversies. Their mystical and philosophical interpretations often clashed with orthodox views, leading to accusations of heresy. The decline of Al-Andalus and the eventual expulsion of Muslims from Spain further obscured their legacy. Yet their ideas persisted, carried forward by disciples and preserved in manuscripts that found their way to other parts of the Islamic world. Today, the rediscovery of their works serves as a reminder of the rich intellectual heritage of Al-Andalus and its relevance to contemporary debates about faith, reason, and the nature of existence. In conclusion, the Sufi philosophers of Spain were visionaries who bridged the realms of faith and reason, science and spirituality, the temporal and the eternal. Their synthesis of Greek philosophy, Islamic teachings, and Sufism created a rich intellectual tradition that continues to inspire and illuminate. Through their contributions to philosophy, science, and the arts, they demonstrated the transformative potential of human thought and the enduring quest for meaning. The mystics of the Alhambra remain a testament to the power of ideas to transcend boundaries and connect humanity to the infinite. Expanding on these themes, one must delve deeper into the socio-political environment of Al-Andalus that fostered such intellectual brilliance. The period was marked by the patronage of learning and the establishment of centers of knowledge like the madrasas of Granada and libraries in Córdoba. These institutions attracted scholars from various parts of the Islamic world and beyond, creating a cosmopolitan atmosphere that encouraged dialogue and innovation. The rulers of Al-Andalus, particularly during the reign of the Nasrids, understood the value of scholarship and invested heavily in the pursuit of knowledge. The Alhambra itself was not only a royal residence, but also a symbol of this intellectual and spiritual quest, where poets, philosophers, and mystics gathered to exchange ideas and seek inspiration. The Sufi tradition in Al-Andalus also had a distinct character shaped by its interaction with local cultures and the natural environment. The rugged landscapes of Spain, with their mountains, rivers, and forests, provided a fitting backdrop for the contemplative practices of Sufism. Many mystics sought solitude in these natural settings, finding in the beauty of creation a reflection of the Creator. This connection to nature is evident in the writings and poetry of Andalusian Sufis, who often used imagery from the natural world to convey their spiritual insights. The emphasis on harmony with nature also influenced their ethical teachings, promoting a way of life that was both spiritually fulfilling and ecologically conscious. Furthermore, the integration of Jewish and Christian intellectual traditions into the Islamic framework of Al-Andalus enriched the philosophical discourse of the time. Thinkers like Ibn Arabi and Averroes engaged with the works of Jewish philosophers such as Maimonides and Christian theologians, creating a syncretic intellectual tradition that transcended religious boundaries. This spirit of inclusivity and mutual respect was a hallmark of the Andalusian Golden Age, demonstrating that dialogue and collaboration are essential for the advancement of knowledge and understanding. The legacy of this interfaith engagement is particularly relevant in today's world, where the need for cross-cultural dialogue and cooperation has never been greater. The mystics of the Alhambra also made significant contributions to the development of mystical practices and rituals. Sufi orders, or tariqas, emerged as organized communities of spiritual seekers who followed specific methods for attaining closeness to God. These practices included dhikr, remembrance of God, sama, listening to music and poetry, and muraqaba, meditation. The Andalusian Sufis adapted these practices to their cultural context, incorporating elements of local music and art to create a unique spiritual expression. The emphasis on experiential knowledge and personal transformation made Sufism accessible to a wide range of people, from scholars and poets to ordinary citizens. This democratization of spirituality was one of the reasons for the widespread appeal of Sufism in Al-Andalus. In their quest for spiritual enlightenment, the Sufi philosophers of Spain also grappled with some of the most profound questions of human existence. What is the nature of the soul? How can one reconcile the material and spiritual aspects of life? What is the ultimate purpose of creation? Their answers to these questions were deeply rooted in their understanding of the Quran and Hadith, yet they also drew on the insights of Greek philosophers, Christian mystics, and Jewish sages. This willingness to engage with diverse sources of wisdom reflects the universalism of their approach, which sought to uncover the underlying unity of all knowledge and existence. The enduring relevance of the Sufi philosophers of Spain lies in their ability to bridge the gaps between tradition and modernity, reason and faith, individuality and universality. Their works continue to inspire not only scholars and spiritual seekers, but also anyone who seeks to understand the complexities of the human condition. The mystics of the Alhambra remind us that the pursuit of knowledge and the quest for meaning are inseparable, and that the true measure of any civilization lies in its ability to foster both.